How many questions do I need to answer correctly to pass my exam? This is a question that all students ask. However, unfortunately, there's no easy answer. The first thing to make clear is that there's no specific marks per question. And the reason is because CIMA use scaled scores, which are related to the particular paper you sat and not just the amount of questions that you answered correctly. So at any one time, there are multiple versions of the CIMA objective test exams in circulation. And although CIMA have tried to make each version equally challenging, there may be some differences in the difficulty between individual papers. So CIMA uses scale scores to level the playing field for students and make the results fairer. Now, generally speaking, for any single exam, a high ability candidate would be expected to obtain a higher score than a low ability candidate. And equally important is the fact that a candidate would be expected to score more on an easier paper than they would on a less difficult paper, on a much easier paper. So scale scores take account for this, and they essentially are used to ensure that candidates receive a score that is comparable across multiple different versions of the same exam, potentially taken at different times. So how does all of this work? Well, let's say that student X and student Y both score 60% on their papers. They both get 60% of the questions correct. But let's say that student X sat a much more difficult paper. Under a scale scoring system, student X would achieve a higher scale score than student Y would. So on a difficult paper, maybe answering 35 out of the 60 questions would be enough to secure that passing mark. But on a much easier paper, you may have to answer 45 questions correctly. So objective test scale scores will be between 0 and 150, and the pass mark is 100 for all the CIMA objective test exams. So you'll be given a provisional pass or fail result on the day immediately after completing your exam, and you'll be able to access your score via the CIMA website 48 hours after this time. But as well as receiving a pass or a fail grade and the scale score, your CIMA results will also provide feedback on your performance in each area of the syllabus. So all of the CIMA subjects are broken down into a number of areas, and you'll be graded as either proficient or not proficient in each of these different topic areas. So a student who has passed may believe that their knowledge is sufficient, whereas a student who has failed may think that they lack knowledge across the whole syllabus. But this isn't necessarily true. You can pass and still be not proficient in one area of the syllabus, while you can fail but be proficient across all areas apart from one. So why does this matter? Well, firstly, if you haven't managed to pass the exam, it can be really helpful to understand those areas where your knowledge or your application of the theory is slightly weaker. And it can show you those areas where you should focus your study next time around to ensure that you achieve that passing grade next time. And as well, at the operational, the management and the strategic levels, the content in the objective test exams form the basis of the knowledge that you need for your future studies. And crucially, at the professional qualification, the knowledge that you require to pass those case study exams. So therefore, even if you've passed, you still need to ensure that you have a good level of knowledge across the entire syllabus. And so reviewing your results may show some areas of the syllabus that you're slightly weaker on that you need to brush up on. So hopefully that's managed to clarify the CIMA scoring system, how the objective test exam is scored, and how you can use all of the feedback you get to ensure that you're successful in passing exams next time at the higher levels and the case study. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and like this video, rate it and subscribe to our channel. So thank you for watching.